Hello, I'm Stephanie. I'm a storyteller at Mercat Tours, and when I take people on a tour, I try to bring Edinburgh's history back to life with words. But of course, that's by far not the only way it can be done. This man here is called John Kay, and he told Edinburgh's story with his artwork. John Kay was a barber by trade, and in the 1760s, as a young man, he moved to Edinburgh. But being a barber back in his day and age, you didn't only have to cut hair and shave beards, you also had to perform certain medical procedures, including bloodletting and cupping and pulling teeth and lots of other lovely, appetizing things. And for John Kay, that meant that on a daily basis, he really got up close with his customers. And if you think about all the chit-chat you might have with your hairdresser, I imagine he also got to hear lots of people's life stories. In his free time, John Kay was a self-taught artist. He made drawings and also etchings and prints and even some paintings. And with all the material his customers were providing him, he eventually started caricaturing the people of Edinburgh. The rich and the poor, the unassuming and the notorious, and everyone in between. This work, for example, shows William Brodie. He was an infamous phantom burglar who haunted Edinburgh and caused a huge scandal back in the 1780s. And this one here is titled The Evening Walk, showing this wealthy and quite pompous looking couple parading around. And as you can tell, John Kay's style might not have been the most refined or professional looking, but it really does capture the essence of all the characters he was trying to portray. And he gained quite a following. Lots of people enjoyed his art and they would buy his works and commission their own portraits. And he also gained the support of a few dedicated patrons. So in 1785 he was able to close his barber shop and become a full-time artist with his own little print shop in Parliament Square. However, as you can probably already tell, there were also quite a lot of people who did not appreciate the way he had portrayed them. They just couldn't handle his honesty, because obviously he didn't try to flatter anyone. He portrayed people the exact same way that he actually saw them. And sometimes he would also add a few witty lines to reflect his opinion or the public opinion about the subject of the pictures. Now, allegedly, some people who had fallen victim to his art would buy all the prints of their portraits and even the original printing plates just so that they could destroy them. And sadly, John Kay was even subjected to at least one violent attack in the streets, and there was a lawsuit filed against him as well, which eventually turned out to be unsuccessful. But despite all of that, he wouldn't be deterred. He continued to make art until the day he died in 1826. And apparently, he created over 900 portraits in those decades. A few years after his death, one of his main patrons, a Mr. Hugh Patten, collected hundreds of Kay's works and he published them in book form. So even nowadays we can still enjoy them and we can catch a glimpse of the Edinburgh John Kay lived in.